Hello, my Warhammer friends. It's Monday Night Warhammer. My buddy brought his Chaos list over like he always does, and I decided to give him a run for his money tonight. I thought, let's do something different. Let's dust off the ogres. Literally, I had to dust them off. I haven't played them in so damn long. I didn't really remember how to build the list, or really how most of them worked. I had to kind of look up everything. But from what I remember, that they're kind of like the Belmonts of the Warhammer world. Their rule is run right and kill everything. Just rely on their impact hits and their superior strength and everything. So I figured I can do that. And to make that better, I decided to take a list with the Stonehorn, because I freaking love the Stonehorn. And I think he's just fantastic. So here's a picture of my spells. I have a level 4 and a level 2, Rockin' Heavens on the level 4. I did not take Grut's Sickle. I think it's just fantastically a great item, but I decided to not take it. I have Ice Shard Blizzard, the Comet, Erdnon's Thunderbolt, and Harmonic Convergence, and then my level 2 has Bone Crusher and Toothcracker. So here's the layout. We ended up rolling up Watchtower, which is, you'll see kind of in deployment here. I don't have a good picture of the board first, but I got a Saber Tusk, a Stonehorn. That's the rare version of the Stonehorn, not a Hunter on top. 6 Lead Belchers, all my 8 Iron Guts with my 3 characters in it. The reason my 3 characters are in it, the level 4, the BSB, and the level 2, is because I put my Ogres in the Watchtower. Figure they were more defensible with their parry save, and they can get worn down. I don't really care about that, and my Guts can be a threat running around the Watchtower. Then I have 4 Mournfang, a Saber Tusk, and an Iron Blaster. And I think it's fairly sporty of me to only take 1 Iron Blaster, says the guy who has 4 Mournfang. And those Mournfang also have the Dragonhide banner. I am such a dick. Then here are my 8 Ogres just sitting in the Watchtower. So it's kind of the standard list. The only changes that my Chaos buddy has is he swapped the Gorby's Chariot for a second Nurgle Chariot. So he has Hellstriders, a Chariot, Dogs, Skull Crushers, Hell Cannon, the Halberdier Warriors, Mark Nurgle, level 4 in there, War Shrine. His chosen BSB, they get +1 toughness from the War Shrine at the beginning of the game. Big surprise there. Nurgle Chariot, and some Dogs. For terrain, it's pretty easy. We've got 2 forests. The one on the left is a blood forest. The one on the right is the one where the movement one, where if you're in it at the end of the movement phase, it could hit you on a 4-up. And then a fence. The right flank is very boring. Alright, so it's Chaos turn 1. I get the Watchtower, so he gets to go first. He's pretty aggressive, moves his, puts the heat on my Chariot Cannon right away, moving his Skull Crushers up through Vanguard and then normal movement. His Dogs move up as well, just kind of getting in my grill. On this right flank, his Dogs move up pretty aggressively as well. Everything else just kind of advances a bit. His chosen in the middle there fail a charge on the building on turn 1. They needed like a 9, but it wasn't a big deal. He moved 4. He'll be able to get it next time, so nothing really lost there. During Magic, it's 9 dice to 5. He goes to throw 3 dice at Curse of the Leper to debuff my Ogres, and it fails to cast. So he's done with his caster's Magic phase. So he picks up his remaining 6 dice and tosses it at the War Shrine. And I was able to dispel it on 5 dice. His Hell Cannon aims for all my characters, and it drifts 10 inches off. And that's the end of his turn. So Ogre's turn 1. I decided to charge my Stonehorn into his Dogs. It's got Terror. I'm thinking he's going to fail his Terror test, and he's going to run. And the bastard rolls a 4, so the Dogs stick. And so I decided I'm just going to move up, and all I can do with the way the Ogres were is clip them. So I just do a normal move with the Ogres up to get 1 inch. I'm sorry, I'm saying Ogres. I mean the Lead Belchers. The Lead Belchers just do a normal movement up so that they can get as close as they can and shoot at the Chosen. I move my Dog in front of my Stonehorn for 2 reasons. One, I've angled him, so if he does charge him, hopefully he'll go off away from my Stonehorn, but in reality, I'm going to kill those Dogs and overrun. I wanted, I was kind of going back and forth. He doesn't have Swift Stride, but he's pretty quick. If I get lucky, I won't roll very far in the overrun distance, and he won't be able to charge me with his Chariot, and maybe he'll charge the Dog and go off to the side. If I'm not lucky, then I'll just use that Dog as a speed bump that I don't go over. If I overrun into the Dog, I'll bounce an inch back, and so there'll be a little bit of buffer, so he won't be able to slam into me with his Chariot as easily. But I'm kind of in a tight spot. Then I move my Iron Guts up with my characters so that I'm projecting with the standard of discipline, projecting leadership 9 into the building with rerolls, so he can't kick the guts out can't kick the bulls out very easily. Over here, it's kind of weird movement, so that 2 arrow shows that I failed my march block on my dog, failed my march test, so he went around where the cannon was. That's the max movement I could get out of him, and he's angled such that the Hellstriders, if they want to charge, are going to have to charge the dog, and then if they wanted to overrun, they would miss the chariot. So I'm just going to buy myself a turn there. Then I move my chariot cannon backwards into the side as much as I can, so that I can still get some shots off. Then I swift reform my Mournfang and just back him up a little bit. I don't need to engage right away, and so we'll just set up a little bit of a shooting zone here. During magic, it's 7 dice to 4. I throw a couple dice at the +1 toughness spell on the ogres. He lets it go, and then he uses his remaining dice to dispel the comet, which I tried to land in the warrior block. During shooting, the cannon, I get greedy with the cannon here. I want to clip both the cannon and some of the warriors, and because of that, I ended up missing. I rolled 2 6s for the bounce, and I should have got the cannon, is what I was thinking, but I got greedy. Only clipped and killed 1 warrior, and missed the cannon completely. So that sucks. 21 shots go out from the lead belchers, needing 5s to hit. I ended up getting, I think, 6 hits and failed to wound on every damn one. So that was poor luck. In close combat, I kill the dogs just fine and overrun about 9 inches and bounce back from the dog. So I went further than I wanted, and we can see what's going to happen there. In fact, I thought I had a good picture of it right away. Well, he's going to hit me, and he's going to kill the dog and overrun into the Stonehorn. Chaos turn 2, he charges the dog to get it out of the way. And you can see he charges the dog over here, and he's going to overrun to the Stonehorn. His chosen go into the building. And the rest of the guys kind of move up. He moves his chariot up. I don't remember if it's as far as it can go, but he moves it up a bit. His warriors and his war shrine come in. And then he moves his skull crushers up so that once I deal with the dogs, if I don't get a good overrun, he's going to be able to charge me. Now, he admits later that he moved it up further than he thought. He thought the distance was bigger. So if he could go back, he would have pulled those guys back a little bit. During magic, it's 4 dice to 3. He throws 4 dice at Curse of the Leper on my guts and rolled a 17. And I only had 3 dice to dispel. That was not likely. And I thought, you know what? Lowering their toughness, even though they're +1 toughness right now, that's not going to be good. So I throw my Dispel Scroll. And it's a little early, but I figured, you know, I could probably weather most of the attacks, but I just figured it was a good time to do it. I didn't like getting rid of it that early, but that's what happened. During shooting, the Hell Cannon aims for the Butcher, the Slaughtermaster, the Bruiser, and all those guts, and he rolls, and the damn Scatter Dice lands on its frickin' side. So we laugh about it for a second, and re-roll, and he gets a direct hit. I roll Lookout Sir for my 3 characters with their Lookout Noblars, and fail on both my level 4 and my level 2. So the level 4... he fails to wound it, which is very nice. My level 1 takes 1 wound. The level 4 was right under the pip, so he was going to get that multiplied. I had a 4-up ward save, but thank God he failed to wound. Didn't have to worry about it. The level 2 takes 1 wound, and then 5 wounds go out, killing a couple of ogres off the back, or a couple of guts. Let's see, where are we here? Okay. In close combat, he kills the dog just like we'd expect, and overruns into the Stonehorn. He kills my dogs here, and because he killed a unit, gains Devastating Charge, and then just reforms. If he had overrun, he wouldn't hit my dude, he probably would have gone off the board. Ogre turn 2. I throw the Mournfang into the dogs. He holds. I don't cost terror, so he just chooses to hold. But I'm hopeful here. I think I'm going to be able to get an overrun into his guys, and I got the Dragonhide banner, so I'm very excited about that. I move my Iron Blaster to the side as much as I can. I'm not out of his charge arc, but if he decides to charge into me, it's going to be a front charge on me, and that means my mounts will get to attack here, and that's about the best I could do with my movement. I couldn't really get away. I was really close to being able to get away by going behind the Mournfang there, but I'm going to overrun after I beat the dog, so yeah, he'll just be able to get into me, no problem. I really don't want to do this, but that Stonehorn is going to take some impact hits probably, and at least be tied up for a while. He doesn't get his Thunderstomps, he's not doing any attacks really, or, you know, no impact hits. So I take my Iron Guts, into the side of the chariot, and I figure I'll just beat him handily here, and then I will reform. And I measured it that if when I reform, I should still be able to um, I'm probably going to lose the ogre off the back, but when I reform, I should still be able to be an inspiring presence and hold your ground with my BSB onto the building. And even without, I measured it, I didn't even have to do the the bullshit argument where you say that the struts holding up the building there are part of the building. I was prepared to make that argument, but I didn't have to. So then I move my lead belchers up again, not marching, just doing moving. But now they're under half range, so I get 4s to hit all those chosen, just shoot the living hell out of them. So I'm excited about that. During Magic, it's 6 dice to 6. I'm going to try 3 spells here at 2 dice each. So I first throw 2 dice at Ice Shard Blizzard on the chosen. That's -1 to hit and -1 leadership. He lets it go, which I was surprised about. I might have rolled pretty well, I think. So now I have 4 dice left. I throw 2 dice at Harmonic Convergence, and he dispels it with 3. So I'm trying to buff up my ogres there. And then I throw 2 dice at +1 toughness on them from my level 2, and he... I failed to cast that one, so he even have to try to dispel it. During shooting, the cannon aims down the line and kills 1 Skull Crusher, so that's going to make it nice, way better to outnumber him 2 to 1. I mean, Skull Crushers are good. Mournfang aren't quite as good usually, but 2 to 1, yeah, baby. The Lead Belchers aim, and even with all those shots, I only killed 2 damn chosen. I'm just having really bad luck with those dudes. I'm getting a lot of hits. I'm just not wounded. I think on this one he made a couple of armor saves. Over here in close combat, he does 3 impact hits. Or actually, he gets 3 wounds off of 6 impact hits. So 6 hits, 3 wounds. I failed to save any of them, unfortunately. I think it was only a 6-up armor at that point. He fails his fear test, though, which is really nice for me. He decides to attack the rank and file, and only does 2 wounds. I kill him outright between my BSB going and all those guts. Just waste him. So I reform like I said I was going to do, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. Over here, I kill the dogs and make my overrun, which was awesome. I needed 9, and I hit 10 with Swift Stride. So now I'm in, and I've got the Dragonhide banner. I've got a ton of impact hits maximized here. Let's just go to town, baby. So we'll fight that one next round. But it's Chaos turn 3. A gutsy move. Now, I knew his Chariot was going to come into me, and I was okay with that. But he decided to take the Hellstriders into the flank of the Mournfang. Yeah, it seems gutsy to me. It seems like a good idea. They're squishy targets, but he's got devastating charge. He'll have a couple more attacks. He'll have some poison, and as long as he can survive, he'll be adding 2 to the combat res. I guess technically 1 more than he would have added, but I don't know. We'll see how it works out for him. I wasn't expecting that. I figured he'd try to get my cannon out of commission. The Warriors charge the building through the forest, and they roll their 4 up, and there's no problem there. The forest doesn't attack them at all. The Chosen Swift reform and move around the building to go kind of after this flank and start messing with people. He thinks he can kick my dudes out with just his Warriors. During Magic, it's 11 dice to 7. He throws 4 dice at Fleshy Abundance on the Chosen, and I let that go. I'm not too worried about them having regen right now. My goal here, I thought about this. He's got a really high magic phase against me. He's leading me by 5 die. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let buffs on them go off within reason, stop any ones I can, and then on my turn, I'm going to move my Butcher out of that unit and redirect those dudes, like just block them up so that I don't have to worry about this magic phase. So that's what I'm thinking. He throws 3 dice at the toughness spell on the Chosen, and I dispel that with 5 dice. He rolled pretty high. I needed to throw 5. So they don't have the toughness buff. He throws 2 dice at Miasma on the Skull Crushers, and I throw 2 dice and dispel it. And I don't realize really at that point, I'm just like, well, let's get rid of it. -1 weapon skill would have been fairly bad across the board. I mean, only the Chariots mark Nurgle, but still, I need that combat to go well. So had I been thinking, I would have saved more dice for that, but I got really lucky and dispelled it on 2. And then with his last 2 dice, he tries the bound spell on the War Shrine and rolls Snake Eyes, so it does not go off. During shooting, he has another big 10-inch drift off of my characters, and it only ends up clipping 1 Lead Belcher, doing 1 wound. So here's the huge combat. Okay, so basically I'm going last, or rather I'm going at the same time as some of the juggernauts. So first, I have the Dragonhide banner. I go in, so that means I get to reroll all my ones in combat, uh, and even my impact hits. But the Dragonhide banner, I can't use it as a shooting attack. It's not going to do me any good to give anyone always strike last, except for one juggernaut. So I'm thinking, God, that kind of sucks. And then I realized, no, I can use it on the Hellstriders because it's a strength. It's 2d6 hits. It's strength 3. Those guys are only toughness 3. I'm going to use it on them for wounds. So that's my plan going in. Like I'm flying in with the impact hits, and I kill one. Let's see how many. Let me check my notes. How many impact hits did I do? I get 5 impact hits. 3 wounds get through his armor saves, and just cream one of the Skull Crushers. So one's dead completely. He doesn't do any impact wounds on me with the chariot. He rolls some, but I armor saved them all. His Slaaneshi steeds go first. Remember, he has devastating charge with the riders, so he has 10 attacks. He rolls all 10 hits and fails to wound at all. I think he failed to wound every single one. I don't even think I had to make an armor save there, so that's terrible luck for him. His steeds go. They have poison. He gets no poison. He only gets 3 hits, and he fails to wound all of them. I think on one of those I might have armor saved 1. No, I didn't. He needed 6s this entire time. He hasn't rolled 1 in 15 attacks. So 2 wounds come through the chariot crew, and I armor save both of those on a 4-up instead of a 2-up because of the strength modifier, but I still haven't taken any wounds. His Jugger Rider, the Skull Crusher dude, gets 3 hits and doesn't land any of the wounds, which is fantastic. So now it's my turn to start swinging. I throw 3 wounds from my Banner's Breath Weapon at the Slaaneshi guys. I land 3 wounds, and he armor saves 2 of them, but 1 gets through. So then I decide, but the 3 Mournfang who are in combat, you can see in this picture there are 4, but I've killed that 1 Jugger. I'm going to put the left guy onto the Slaaneshi steeds, I'm going to put the middle guy onto the chariot, and I'm going to put the right guy onto the hardest target to wound, the 1-up armor save Skull Crusher. So that's my plan. I outright kill the Juggernaut with the guy on the right. Just roll and punk him. He's dead. I don't think I wounded the chariot at all, but I killed every single Slaaneshi Hellstrider right there. And this is how combat looks at the end. I didn't take a single damned wound with re-rolling everything that turned up a 1. Blew them all out of the water. He needed snake eyes on his chariot to stick, and it was not re-rollable. He broke, and I got all blood greedy, and I made a mistake here. I pursued him, caught him. That looks good, but look at the mistake I made. Look at this board here. I could have just held back, or, assuming I passed a leadership test, I could have held back and reformed. This is on his turn. I could have charged the rear of those warriors. As soon as I moved those guys, I realized it, and it was just a big blunder. Now, it's not a game-losing blunder, but I could have ended the game right there. Slamming into their rear on this turn with the Dragonhide banner helping out, assuming I didn't get devastated by dangerous terrain, I probably could have broke those guys, and he wouldn't have really had anyone even ready to go in. He sells his chosen, but I could have been whittling them down. So I felt really bad about doing that. I got all blood greedy. So we go into Ogre turn 3. And at the top of the screen, you can see I charged the Mournfang into his War Shrine, and he agonized about this one a bit. He was like, I don't know if I should flee. I think you're going to just waste me. And I gave him a little heads up. I said, listen, if you flee, you might get away. You don't have Swift Stride on that guy. He knew that. But I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge my Butcher out or charge my Iron Guts at you because they're going to be within range. I'm going to push you off the board and maybe panic. Just have your guy go through your Skull Crusher because I'm going to push him right through him. So he decided to flee, and I didn't want to redirect. The only one I could redirect into from that angle was actually the Hell Cannon, and I didn't want to get up into combat with him. It was a really long distance, too. It looks like I could have hit the Chosen here, but they were out of my arc, so I just rolled to try to pursue him, and I caught the War Shrine, which is expected. I was really pretty close to him, and I had Swift Stride, he didn't. So with the rest of my movement here, I march my level 2 out so that he's blocking. Those buffed up Chosen can't come into me. I've got my guy angled such that he has to hit and face me in the front. He can't overrun getting anyone. And then I've got Iron Guts and my Stonehorn to go into him next turn. I also moved my Lead Belchers there in the lower left so they can be the ones to shoot at the warriors, because even though I should have charged him in the rear, at least I've got an option here, and I can shoot the hell out of him with some armor pierce and strength 4 shots. So that's it for movement. I think it's working out pretty well for me. In Magic, it's about 8 dice to 5. I didn't have this one written down, but I'm pretty sure it was 8 to 5. I decided to try to get 2 spells off. I miscast throwing 4 dice on the Comet, which goes off here on the Warriors, which is, okay, we've got a Comet here. It's what I wanted. But on the miscast, I get the small round template, strength 10 hit. It drains 6 dice from the power pool, so my magic phase is completely over. I land 1 wound on my lord that I don't ward save, and kill a couple of ogres with 6 other wounds, killing 2 ogres completely. So now, I just lost a decent amount of fighting, guys. Not happy about that, but you know what? What can you do? During shooting, let's see, do I have a picture of that? No, it's Chaos Turn 4. During shooting, I shoot a couple of the warriors. Don't do too many. Sorry, I don't have that in my notes here right away. And I think I miss with the cannon, or forget to fire. No, I missed with the cannon. I either missed or he ward saved it. And I did take a shot with my harpoon that's on top of the Stonehorn there, and it failed to wound. So it's Chaos Turn 4. He decides to charge the Butcher, and I hold. And I have a little surprise for him. The Hellheart coming on his turn, baby. I could have maybe used it the first turn, but now I'm definitely close enough to his caster. His caster's in the Warriors group, but I'm going to give him a Hellheart right up his butt. Very excited about that. His Warriors go into the building. During Magic, the Winds of Magic is 5 dice to 3. I cast the Hellheart off. He rolls an 8 on the chart, which is magical feedback. It fails to wound the sorcerer, but it does kill 3 warriors. That also removes 3 dice from his power pool, and I gain 1 dispel dice. So all said and done, he's casting on 2 dice, and I've got 4 dispel dice, which I forgot that it even did that. I just wanted to try to blow up his caster, which is fantastic. He throws 2 dice at Curse of the Leper, but I dispel that no problem. During shooting, that blue dotted line there shows that the Hell Cannon aims at the big group again, and it drifts onto the Stonehorn. You don't see that in the picture here, but the small hole in the middle lands on the big base of the Stonehorn. That's a strength 10. It multiplies to 4 wounds, but because the Stonehorn has that special rule that halves all multi-wounders, I survive with 1 wound on my Stonehorn left. I was very happy about that. Oh, God, I love that rule. Makes me so happy. So what happened here is we actually forgot about the Comet at the same time. We actually went ahead and did this combat and then had to rewind it because the Comet was so devastating. So the Comet goes down and does 5 deaths on the Warriors, gets 13 hits on my Ogres in the building, and kills 3 of them completely. At this point, I had already held, and we had done the combat, but because we killed so many Warriors and killing that many warriors meant his sorcerer, he wanted to send a sorcerer in, and I only had 2 guys left to weather the storm, so we rewound it and did the combat again. And in the combat, he lands 6 wounds on me, and that's enough to kill all my ogres. So I pick up the dice to roll the parry save, and I parried 1 of them. This is fantastic. I throw 2 wounds back at him, but who cares? I managed to keep 1 wound left in that building, and I have it on Leadership 9, Steadfast, Rerollable, and I make it. It's freaking awesome. I'm stuck in a building. And at that point, he concedes the game because this is what I do on my turn. I rally my level 2, which is pretty fantastic. I charge his Chosen with the Stonehorn. Now my Stonehorn's going to die, but that's fine. I'm going to get some impact hits in, hopefully quite a few. I don't get an Ogre charge off, but I want to smash the hell out of him. I angle my Mournfang, or I pivot them so that I can charge them next turn if I want. I don't even care that I'm giving my rear to the Hell Cannon. It's a long distance, and he's probably going to want to try to shoot the building anyway. I pull my remaining 1 wounded ogre out, and I move my Lead Belchers in. And the Lead Belchers are just going to shoot the hell out of the warriors from the building because they didn't have to march in. And then I move my, right in the middle there, I just kind of move my dudes up so that even if he, when he does kill the Stonehorn, he has to go through my Iron Guts and spend a whole other turn chopping them up before he can even try to assault the building. And at this turn, it'll be the end of turn 4. I'll definitely just bot myself all the way through turn 5, and the Mournfang can hit, so this is pretty much the end of the game. Here's a little clearer picture without all the arrows of how it ended up looking at the end, before I moved the Mournfang. And that's it, just another picture. So it was a really fun game. It was a fun game for me. It was kind of painful for Chaos. Kind of felt that some crucial things went against him there, like moving his guys a little too close. You know, he really had a poor showing of luck on the big combat with the Skull Crushers. But I still think that, I talked about it a little bit with him, I still think I was set to win that. I think that the flank charge was just throwing a lot of extra wounds into combat that, you know, I think that he didn't know I had the Dragonhide banner at the time. But even without it, I was able to. It only landed 1 extra wound in there. It let me re-roll my 1s, which was pretty huge. But I still probably would have been able to kill the Hellstriders, if not do enough wounds to them. So yeah, I got really lucky. It was a fun time playing the Ogres. They're a little crazy. I got to play with the Stonehorn. I got to use the Hellheart. That's pretty fun, pretty fantastic. And I got a win, so I'm pretty happy about that. Go watchtower. Anyway, that's the game. Thanks for watching, guys.